Back to another video. This is, as we started a couple months ago, I believe in August, we are doing a La Nina forecast video now, and that's just to kind of tell you the update on La Nina and what impacts that would have. So right now we have a La Nina advisory, and that means that a La Nina is actually current, and it's expected to transition back to ENSO, which is El Nino Southern Oscillation. It's supposed to become neutral again between January and March. There's a 55% chance of that, so most likely. The PDO, or Pacific Decadal Oscillation, is deep negative at negative 3.23 at the end of September. And then the IOD, or Indian Ocean Dipole, I used to call it dipole, but a very kind viewer actually commented telling me it's dipole. So if I ever make a mistake, please comment. I'm not those people who complain when you comment that I've made a mistake. I actually try to improve on that. And it was in a negative phase at about negative 1.29 degrees Celsius. Now, La Nina, short-lived, is possible, actually now likely. And then, same, those models still continue to lean that way to the neutral, and then likely reverting to neutral midwinter. The Pacific Decadal Oscillation, it typically favors a western trough, which is low pressure, and an eastern ridge, which is high pressure. And that could bring some active storm tracks to us, so that could mean some winter storms. Typically, La Nina does result in a wetter winter, and I'm going to get more into that in just a minute. The Indian Ocean Dipole enhances rainfall over Indonesia and Australia. It would just kind of reinforce those La Nina-like patterns and maybe slightly nudge the jet stream a little bit north. Now first, please consider subscribing. Now, why subscribe? Well, I send almost weekly updates. There is sometimes a point where I don't send a weekly update. That's when the weather's calm. And especially we do coverage for Davenport, Milwaukee, and the Chicago National Weather Service office areas. I do these monthly La Nina and El Nino updates. I do have severe weather live streams. Some of my viewers know that. Posting typically once per week between Friday and Sunday. That just depends on my schedule. And shorts occasionally come out, like Myth Mondays. I'm going to start back up during the holiday season and during the summer. But now, December 2025. Not too much to talk about. With the La Nina now being established, our negative PDO, not PTO, early season cold shots are now more likely. And that just means it's going to get cold quickly. It's like, not an Arctic blast, but kind of like that. Now, snow may be early. I don't say why I said snow may early. However, it's a little too early to confidently say when. I'm going to say this again later. Probably the end of this month, start of next month, I'll be able to start making first snow predictions. Then later in December, I'll actually post a White Christmas video, kind of trying to predict a White Christmas. And then also, Myth Mondays will likely have something to do with White Christmas. January, it's going to be maybe mild, so maybe mild temperatures, but then it might be volatile too. Because with the La Nina weakening and neutral approaching, the pattern could flip to more being volatile. Strong swings between warm and cold. That could potentially contribute to severe weather, but that right now is unknown. It's too far out. It could feature like a fall spring thaw and then cold, sharp cool down. So might feel 40 degrees one day and then negative 20 the next. And it might feature a snowstorm during some of those cold shots, though we can't definitely say snowstorm. February, if the La Nina to ENSO neutral conditions or transition occurs midwinter, and we can get some higher latitude blocking, so further up north. If that develops, because the negative PDO supports this, the cold risks could return late. It might extend winter into early March, especially throughout the Midwest and Great Lakes. We don't know what March might entail because it's far out. But it's an early, but we're not confident on this guess, is that another repeat of March 2023 is possible, but there's very low confidence in that. And February is still pretty far out, so we're still not even confident with this. Very loose snowfall, first snow. Now, this is for first measurable snow, which the National Weather Service defines at least 0.1 inches. Again, I said that I will be able to predict that late this month into early next month. In the Chicago Metro, the average is November 17th, where I should stop saying we. I'm saying that it's going to be between November 10th and 20th. For Milwaukee, the average date is the 12th of November. This is going to be a prediction is the 5th through 15th. In Davenport, the average is the 20th of November, and I'm expecting it to be between November 15th and 20th. We still remain confident, and by we I mean I, on a generally to slightly above normal snowfall winter. So Chicago, that's 35 to 40 inches, and I don't know the rest off the top of my head. I'll post a community post there in YouTube when I actually get that. And that is all for this week's video. It finally feels like fall. It was 45 degrees, it felt like, here today. So hopefully that continues, because I don't want it to feel like 90 degrees anymore. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I will see you next week for a video.